Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast, brought to you by Papa John's. Don't forget to check out their MSU special. If you show a valid MSU ID to Admir and the gang, you can get a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99. That is a slam dunk, grand slam deal that you just will not want to miss out on. And folks, we are back here for episode 11. I'm your host, Cole Clementich. Second week in a row, I am riding solo. It's just a tough, unfortunate semester for us as we got a lot of busy folks here in the broadcasting department, but I especially am very glad to bring you guys another great episode here. Another 3 wonderful guests. We got a women's basketball player and a men's basketball player, all pretty fairly local, and then we got ourselves a goalie from one of the hockey teams, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado here, folks, we're going to start it off. A goalie from the women's hockey team, also hailing from Saskatchewan, Jordan Ivanco joins us. Jordan, thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have you here on board. So, Jordan, just kind of talk, basically geography, Canada to the States. What was that experience like when you first moved to MSU?
It wasn't too different compared to back home. It's only a 7-hour drive from where I'm from, so it's pretty similar from across the border there.
Awesome. Well, so really, how did your journey, so obviously being from Canada, hockey is big and everything. How did the journey begin for you as a goalie in particular? What got you into playing that position?
Well, I started out as a forward growing up, and as I came into my Pee Wee year, they're short goaltenders, so they just asked me if I wanted to play goal because they needed goalies desperately, and I just came up and said, yeah, I'll play goal.
Yeah, so starting off young and, expanding on from goalie, what really pulled you into hockey? What was the background story? Any family, anything that stood out? What caught your eye from it?
Growing up, I would always watch my brother play hockey, and I instantly was very interested in it. And yeah, I told my parents, I was like, I want to play hockey just like my brother. So they put me into hockey and skating, and I've loved it ever since.
It's really cool. And now you're up here at Minot State, and really just kind of discuss your career starting as a freshman all the way until now. How has MSU, or how did MSU kind of help you in your growth or achieving your goals here, as all 4 years went by?
Just setting goals, like, as you come in, having the skills, the coach, like Ryan Miner, he used to be a goalie, so having his skills and bringing him on to the other goalies on the team has really helped. And just the team adversity has helped. Bringing in skills, trying your hardest in practice, and allowing you to meet those goals.
Actually, I did not know Coach Miner was a goalie, so that's something new that you learn every day here, folks. And that's really good stuff, Jordan. And discussing more about the team, talk about some of the last weekend of games that you guys played. Good one against Lindenwood. Obviously, they're kind of struggling a little bit this year, but what kind of was the mindset after those couple games? And with it being senior day, you were one of the few seniors, and just kind of talk the weekend in general.
So we knew that Lindenwood was a lower team, but we didn't want to play down to their level. We still had to play our game. We just had to go out there, use our skill, our speed, our strength, and get the win coming into conference and nationals.
Nice. Yeah, and to be back on home ice too, that's got to be really nice there. And, talk about the moment for you going through senior day or senior night, and, what was rolling through your mind? Did you have to hold back a few tears or, any emotion? When you were being honored on the ice, how did that all go through or go down?
It was a pretty emotional day, not just for me, probably all the other seniors that are graduating this year. But yeah, walking into that dressing room, there's a lot of emotion between all of us. And yeah, getting called out onto the ice was also pretty emotional, being the last time on the ice called out at home. Yeah, but it was a fun experience, a lot of emotion, but we had to play our games still and not let the emotion get the best of us.
Yeah, it's got to be something to balance out, something to consider most certainly. And when they announce those accomplishments, including the saves and the shutouts even, just talk about what do those mean to you overall?
It feels like a good accomplishment going into it. I did not know that I had that many saves when they announced it, and I was pretty shocked, and the shutouts was a good thing to have also, not knowing that I had the record until the next day. It was a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, very cool scene there, and you getting the start on senior day, was that did that provide a little extra pep in your step, or was there kind of, just go out there and just play your game? Was that kind of a mindset going in?
Yeah, just going out there, playing my game, making sure I'm behind my team's back in the back end, and that led us to the victory on senior day.
Awesome. Well, 1 goal against, certainly a job well done on the ice there. And going off the ice here, you're one of the seniors on the team, as mentioned. Where do you see yourself maybe next year or the years beyond, whether it's continuing hockey or any sort of activities or jobs? Where do you hope to fulfill yourself, or where do you see yourself being in the next year or so?
That I'm still deciding currently, but I have a couple options. I'm either playing pro hockey in Europe, or I might join the Fire Academy after. And then there's also just like a little side job I would do is like personal training clients.
Oh, personal training. That talk a little bit about that. Do you have sort of any classwork involved with that? Do you have a major, or what is your major? Is there anything related to that off the ice in the classroom? Kind of touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm in corporate fitness and wellness management. So I work a lot in Swain and like the gym area, wellness area.
Oh, so right in here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm currently in my practicum right now. So I am personal training a couple clients right now. And I'm also personal training the fire stations down in Minot. And it's a good experience getting that hands-on work in the school aspect. That's
got to be something to be proud of. I mean, working for, first responders, just what is that experience like? Touch more on that experience. What's that like, being able to kind of help the community in that aspect?
It's a nice aspect because I'm able to learn more about them and like what they want to achieve, and asking what their goals are in the fitness industry, but also in the work industry that helps them become, let's say, faster or stronger if they're breaking down a building or something. Yeah, it's a good experience to help them achieve those goals.
It's got to be a lot of really cool things, unique things involved in there. Well, Jordan, we're just about out of time here, but obviously the team's got to be thinking national tournament on their mind, obviously wanting to do well in that. But, for you yourself, what are some goals both on and off the ice?
Off the ice, I would say you really want to come prepared, come to the rink prepared, positive. But you also have to tie in the school balance too, so you're not too stressed out. But on the ice, you just gotta be mentally ready, come out playing your game strong, using your skill to try to get that national championship.
Well, Jordan, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best, again, both on and off the ice, and good luck for the rest of the season. We thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you heard it there, folks. Jordan Ivanco from women's hockey, goalkeeper from Saskatchewan, and one of the many seniors celebrating Senior Day the past weekend. And that'll do it for this first segment. Don't go anywhere, folks. Next, we're going to have one of the guards from the women's basketball team. Before we head to a break, we just want to remind you that Papa John's has the MSU special if you show a valid MSU ID, not just students, but faculty as well. Again, a valid MSU ID, you can get a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99. We thank Papa John's for sponsoring the Inside the Dam podcast. We're going to take a quick break here, folks. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Don't forget to check out Papa John's. They are the sponsor of the show each and every Monday. We thank Admir and the gang for supporting the Minot State Broadcasting Department. Check out their MSU special with a valid MSU ID. You show that, you get a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99. Again, always a great deal from Admir and the crew over there at Papa John's. Thank you guys for supporting the Inside the Dam podcast each and every Monday night. As promised, guys, we have a member of the women's basketball team. She's a guard hailing from Plymouth, Minnesota. Breianna Smestad joins us. Breianna, thank you for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we are very happy to have you here on board, and thank you as always. So I kind of want to start off, we were talking, I guess you and the other guests were talking a little bit about Minnesota, and I kind of want to start with this, Minnesota Nice. How did that come to be? Do you know any backstory on that?
So we're kind of just like the best people. We're just super nice all the time. We'll hold the door open for you. Negative 20-degree weather. You're like a mile away. We'll hold it open for you. We're just that great, I think that's pretty much where it comes from. You'll talk to anyone on the street. They'll say hi, wave to you, smile at you. Not a lot of places you'll get a good smile. So
nice. Really putting that nice into Minnesota there. So yeah, kind of want to start off with a bang here, folks. And if we are getting a little bit of updates from the stream, so if it is, we do apologize, folks, if there are any technical difficulties you are receiving on our end, but we're going to keep rolling here. So, Bree, kind of describe, obviously playing guard for Minot State, how has the game impacted you ever since day one of playing?
So I grew up playing since I was in 3rd grade. All my 3 parents have played. My one is still coaching, and so I've just always been around the game. And I at first didn't always love it. It was kind of like a forced thing, but once I started to get to high school, I started to really feel that basketball could be a forever thing in college for me. And then I just put my head down, started to go to work, and by the glory of God, I was able to play in college, and it has just brought so much joy and difficulty. But at the end of the day, I've gotten to meet great people, learn great time management and life skills, and it's just been an awesome ride so far.
That's actually a perfect segue into my next question here. What memories do or can you recall? Doesn't matter if it's either at Minot State or in high school, youth ball. What can you remember from that?
Yeah, so I transferred my freshman year. At the end of it, I transferred to Maranatha Christian Academy in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and I came into a program that had went to state 7 years in a row. So it was like a legacy. And so I went there as a sophomore, and I played with multiple girls that went D1, and I was fortunate enough to start, and we were going into that final game to go to state. And the girl actually tried to get a delay of games and threw the basketball into the drum set and got a technical foul. And so then out of all the seniors, I was a sophomore that just transferred, and I worked super hard to get there. My coach goes, all right, you're going to shoot the 2 free throws. And we were down, or it was tied. It was like a very close game. And these free throws,
it's one of those moments.
Yep, it's one of those moments. Yep.
Buckle up, folks.
I know. And then I got to the line, I said a quick prayer, and I synced the 2 free throws, and we ended up winning.
There we go. Nice.
Thank you. And we ended up going to state, and that was my first time ever, but it was also a legacy. So it was just a very big moment for me. I think I had like 20 points that game too, most I ever had. Like, it was just an amazing moment for me, and I'll forever remember it.
Yeah, no pressure, right?
No pressure. A sophomore, like in front of all these seniors that went D1, and my coach picked me. It was, super special.
No, that's got to be almost an honor at that point.
Yeah.
And talking about as you've been able to grow, the sophomore experience with the seniors, growing from that to what you've gone through here up till Minot State. What are some things that have helped you out? What has MSU done to kind of help you, prepare for this moment as you're one of the seniors involved on the team, and just talk about overall experience here at Minot State, really?
Yeah, so it's been all over the place, honestly. With COVID, a new coach, it's definitely been a journey, but one that I'll always remember, and one that has given me many great life lessons and great friendships and relationships. Minot State is definitely a community that feels like a family, and I think that no matter what was going on through my journey, I always had someone there to lift me up and make me feel good, and I was able to be that for someone else as well. I think Minot State is a place where people become great. They come in and they're all excited and everything, and they have their old ways, but they become real, genuine, great people. And that's something I'll forever be grateful for coming here. Specifically the basketball program. I know that every single administration, every coach I had, every teammate that I have, they're all super special, and they've made me who I am today.
No, that's really cool. And, you bring up a good point with the team in general. I see on Twitter a lot, hashtag championship mentality. That's always a great mindset, I feel, to go in with that. And, how will you remember MSU, after you leave? Obviously, you got future plans going on. And just how will you recall your time at MSU, once you get that degree, and just overall, big picture mindset?
I would say, if I could describe it in one word, individualized. The small class sizes, I'm in a biology degree, so I have difficult classes, but I know every professor by name. I went to their office and specifically talked to them all the time. My coaches, I can go talk to them about life. I can go talk to the AD, Madeline, my teammates, just people on the street. I think that I was uniquely individualized to becoming better than I would have at any other university, which again is something so special about being here. I'm 7.5 hours away, and my 4 years have been so fast, and normally that's not like me because I do get homesick. I have a great family life back at home, but it's the people and the opportunities that Minot has given me that has made the time go fast and made it feel so special.
Yeah, I agree with you there. There's a great support staff, not just for the student athletes, but for any students in general. And students who are trying to work for that degree. Maybe even just the ones that are student athletes, and they have a busy schedule. Sometimes things can maybe get a little hard or a little too overwhelming. What is some advice as an upperclassman that you would give to those students of those demographics?
I'd probably say get as much help as you can. The one thing coming in is that as a freshman, it feels overwhelming, and no matter what your degree or what you're going through, just take those extra help things, whether that be counseling, going to tutoring, going to talk to your coach, going to talk to a friend. We have these things at student athletes called the Green Bandana Project, which I don't know if you've seen it, but it says here.
The green bandanas hanging off the backpacks and such. Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen those.
Yep. So that's a mental health awareness thing that if someone is going through something like that where it is too much, we're here to talk to you and we're here to help. And that's kind of what that bandana and those tags show, that we're here to listen and everyone's here to listen. So if someone is struggling with something like that, get help, go to someone, and just keep working hard because it'll get better.
And those resources can definitely help a lot of people, especially you trying to achieve your goals going on the court. Being honored as one of those seniors going through the festivities, the senior day event, just talk a little bit about those games that you guys have played. You know, the last time you guys were at home, talk about the team a little bit, and maybe also that moment going through, you know, the second to last home game for you.
Yeah, so I feel like our team has really transformed this year. We came in with a lot of freshmen and a lot of new faces, and I think we've continually grown. After winter break, we came back with a different mindset, and these past couple weekends, we've won some tough games, and it's been really exciting. My senior game specifically, I had all my family here, all the support. That was super fun, a great win that will really help us, especially for the playoff seeding. So, yeah, I'm just excited. We have 2 big games this week. Our last home game, which I'm sad but excited about, and then we go to Northern. So these are 2 very winnable games that will help us potentially get into playoffs, and I think our team's great. We have some very hard workers, some very great girls that have performed well, and yeah, Coach Brand is just leading the troops. So
yeah, you said it best, and I agree right there. You guys are really fighting hard in some of those games, and just a lot of grit and toughness there. And you know, Coach Brand has really implemented that for you guys a lot. You mentioned earlier, you know, a coaching change. What was that experience like? Have you seen something like that go down? You know, what was that? You know, what was kind of the mood in the room when that went through?
So that was kind of a surreal moment for me. I specifically remember when everything happened. I got done from class and we were told that Coach Goalie wasn't coming back, and it was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? And then we were given the opportunity to sit in through the interviews. We got to listen to Coach Brandt, and that was really cool to see him then from the beginning when I first met him to now, and how he's already changed the program so much. Like you said, the championship mentality has been something that he's really tried to instill into us, and I think he's done a great job. We redid our locker rooms, got new jerseys, got new things. He's really fighting.
Those are really nice, by the way.
I know.
Yep, those jerseys.
I know. Thank you.
I like them. Yep.
Yeah, he's done a great job of just giving us that championship mentality, whether we're seeing it on the court or not. He wants to make sure that we have the best stuff and we will rise to the challenge and become that championship team that he believes that we can be. I also really like his philosophies, and he's a great teacher of the game and just of life stuff too. I go and talk to him about random stuff, and yeah, he's just a great person and a great coach, and all of our coaching staff is honestly really great, and that's helped our team transform, like I said earlier.
And he's got a great sense of humor, I assume, as well.
Yes, with his TikToks.
Any funny stories that have come out from him? Or I guess the TikTok, good point, actually. The TikTok content has been, you know, really, really top tier. You know, just kind of talk. What are some of your favorite ones from any of them?
The TikToks? I'd probably say... Oh gosh, probably the one where he like imitates all of us. So he posts the Instagram and then he like reenacts it. I think those are fun. A memory of him that would be funny that you mentioned is that he can like bark like a dog. So sometimes we're in like the airport and he like barks and dogs bark back at him, and it's just like a funny thing because you think of your coach like in a higher standard, you know, and like we still look at him like that, but like when he does human stuff, you know, like he jokes around and has fun. It just, I don't know, it's awesome.
No, that's really cool stories to share. I'm sure there's got to be a lot more, but and yeah, he, like you said, he helps you guys get ready, and you know, keeping the championship mentality going off the court. You have quite the resume of academic works. I mean, they're just off the charts. You know, talk about some of those accomplishments that you've made throughout college.
Yeah, I really just try to involve myself as much as I can into everything. My goal is to go to dental school, and I'm blessed that I'm able to go to dental school next year,
nice.
Going to the University of Minnesota for that. And that's kind of been like my driving goal, to do as much as I can here academically. My favorites have been like the Miles Breianna Award. I just got that. I am on the SAC. I'm a student athlete association committee president.
Oh, nice.
Pre-professional club, I just started that. I'm president of that. And yeah, just little things like that I've just tried to get involved with. I don't remember specific accolades other than those, but...
Yeah, we were discussing the Miles Brand Award, I think, last week with Dominic Parkhurst. I think it was him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe so. And, yeah, definitely a really cool award. And, yeah, you mentioned it, future plans, and they also brought it up during the senior recognition, going off to dental school. And we're really happy to see you have that success, and we wish you all the best. And, to achieve those plans, what are some goals that you have? Just quickly here, some goals that you have on the court, off the court, and hopefully to finish off with that degree later on.
Mm-hmm. So I'll start with on the court. On the court, I told Coach Brandt this at the start of the year because I tore my ACL last year and everything. I just want to help the team in whatever way I can, whether that be going in for a minute and going as hard as I can, or whether I'm playing a whole quarter, whole half, whatever I need to do. I just want us to win, be able to go to playoffs, and just finish off strong. My senior year, that's all I can really ask and control. Off the court, I just want to... finish my time here at Minot State and leave my mark, whether that be just being a great person to someone new, really anything. I just want to have fun and leave the best mark I can here. And then what'd you say, future plans?
Yeah, future plans, like you said, they brought it up during the senior recognition on senior day. Dental school, how do you hope to reach your goals for that?
Yes, so I'm really excited about dental school. I know it's going to be very difficult 4 years of my life, but in the back of my mind, I know that I've been gifted these abilities to go to dental school, and I'm very thankful that the Lord has given me those abilities. I just want to be able to help people. I've always wanted to give back to people, and I think that this can be a great way to serve others and put a smile on someone's face. And yeah, I'm just going with the flow, having fun, enjoying my last year.
Yep, leaving a lasting legacy and hoping to finish strong as they play MSU Moorhead and Northern State, the women's basketball team does. You just heard it from Breianna Smestad. Bree, thank you for joining us tonight. We're all out of time here, but great story that you had to bring along here. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. You're awesome. Great questions.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you as always. And yeah, folks, you just heard it from Breianna Smestad, senior guard on the women's basketball team, going off into dental school for the next couple years. And another great story as always. But we're going to take a quick break before we get to the final segment here, folks. Just want to remind you, Papa John's has the MSU special. If you show a valid MSU ID, you can get a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99. Do not miss it. Admir is great to work with, and the rest of the Papa John's employees over there. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring the Inside the Dam podcast. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here, folks. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Again, I'm your host, Cole Clementich, riding solo with you guys as we just got done with 2 guest interviews. Jordan Ivanco from women's hockey, goaltender, and senior guard Breianna Smestad from the women's basketball club. And now sticking to the court. Before we get to that, actually, we want to remind you folks to check out Papa John's. They are the sponsor of the Inside the Dam podcast. Check out their student special. Don't miss it. It's a large 2-topping pizza for $7.99. If you show a valid MSU ID, you can get that deal from Admir and the rest of the Papa John's crew. We thank them, as always, for sponsoring the Inside the Dam podcast. Now moving on here, another senior guard on one of the basketball clubs, this time from the men's team. From Minot, North Dakota, Drew Pearson is here with us in studio. Drew, thank you for making some time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Cole. I really appreciate it. That kind of sounded like a starting lineup. Like I'm ready to get going.
I'll take that. I mean, that's a compliment that I've never had before, so I'll take it certainly. So yeah, thank you there. But yeah, so your journey did not start off at Minot State. You started off at Bismarck State. Talk about what what did you take away from the JUCO environment going off to play at Bismarck State first and foremost?
Well, first I'd probably want to say I did start in Minot because I'm born from here.
Good point. Yeah, you are from Minot native, but
there, yep.
yeah, talking college ball here. So yeah.
So I went to DeLax Burlington. That's where I graduated.
Oh, nice.
From, and then, I went and played 2 years at Bismarck State College. So I graduated high school in 2017, and then played 2 years at BSC, and then I've been here at Minot for the last 4. And it's been a long journey, but it's dwindling down pretty quick here. I want to say it's been really interesting to see like the difference, like coming from a JUCO to a 4-year, not even just completely on the court, even just classes, just how more official everything kind of feels at the NCAA level compared to the JUCO level.
Yeah, and like mentioned, starting off at Bismarck State, got to switch the camera angle there. Starting off at Bismarck State, what does the transfer process look like for maybe those athletes who don't know that just, played straight away into a 4-year or maybe have had a different kind of journey?
Well, the best way I think I could describe JUCOs, well, I can only talk for the basketball side. There was a lot of times where I kind of would feel like a JUCO was kind of like AAU, like playing summer high school tournaments. Like there was games that we would have where there'd be players showing up at halftime. And then like that's just something that obviously would never happen at the 4-year level. But, JUCO gets a bad rap by a lot of people. Just, I feel like a lot of the outlook on it is misfits or they didn't have the right grades. And, while that may be true in some instances, I think for me personally, if I just would have came to Minot right away, I wouldn't have had the total experience as me going to a JUCO and going to a 4-year. I've got to see both sides. I've had coaches at the 2-year school level and the 4-year school level. I've had teammates on both of those too, and I don't want to say I regret anything because I definitely don't. I'm so happy I went 2 years at a JUCO and then still got to experience 4 years. Most people don't get to do that. It's usually 2 and 2, but with the COVID and all that stuff that's going on, I've been blessed enough to play this long. So
additional year, and yeah, you said it. It's not everyone's journey is the same. So yeah, you make a great point there, and making an excellent point earlier. You did start out in high school going to DeLax Burlington, so a local product. What do you remember from those days, and maybe some memories that you can recall? And yeah, there's a little bit of change also going on with the NDHSAA with the new 3-class system being proposed. Maybe your thoughts on that a little bit, but talk about life during DeLax Burlington.
Well, the first thing that comes to my head is school was a whole lot easier. And it was a lot easier to score the basketball at the Class B level than it is at the college level. But, it's weird because I graduated, I think my class was around high 30s, mid 40s. So, coming from a small school and then going to college, like, it's just, it's something that everybody goes through. It might be going from a big high school to a small school. It's just adapting to kind of your surroundings. And, I'm fortunate enough to be a college athlete and have like a team of brothers I can always rely on. I can always hit one of those guys up, got the coaches that if they ever need me and stuff like that. So
yeah, good stuff there, Drew. And yeah, just expanding on from that question earlier, being a DLB alum playing for the NDHSA, an NDHSA affiliated school, the new 3-class system, that's pretty big right now. Just kind of not here to debate, but just kind of some original thoughts on the plan that just went through. So there's Class AA, obviously the big schools, the Class A, kind of the middle ground schools, and then the Class B, kind of the small town schools. Just kind of what was your initial reaction to when all that went down?
Well, I remember when I was in high school, we always talked about having another class, Class C, but it was not the way how they did it. It was always just blabber and gossip about, hey, let's make a Class C for the private schools, if I'm just being honest with you. But, the way that they did it now, it's pretty interesting to me. I can't say I have like a set opinion on if it's going to be great or worse. We're all going to have to wait and figure that out.
That's fair, yeah.
For the average North Dakota basketball fan, that's just another state tournament. You can't complain about another state tournament, right?
Yeah, that's more games. Yeah, that's going to be maybe a lot more opportunities for schools and or students involved. So that'll be, we'll see how it plays out, and could go pretty good, could go maybe some things need to change here, maybe a few things to, fix up. But yeah, like you said, another state tournament could be a wonderful thing for the schools and the students. And just going back to the college level here, talk about that feeling of going back home to MSU after your time in Bismarck State.
Oh, there was a lot of emotion behind it. I grew up, like I said, in Minot, so I was going to the days when there was NAIA, when it wasn't D2 here. I've been going to the games here for a while and everything like that, and just being around the university, being from Minot, like I said. And, when I was in high school, I talked to Coach Merkin a little bit, and, he wanted me to come here right away, and I kind of told him, hey, I got some of my AAU guys, like, we kind of want to go to this JUCO together and keep playing together. And he fully accepted that and embraced that and respected my decision. And, after I got done with my 2 years, like, that offer was still on the table for me to come here. So, if I'm being honest with you, Cole, I was kind of nervous when I first, was coming here. I was like, because you could ask anyone that knows me growing up, I was always saying, I don't want to go to Mine State. No, not Mine State. Like,
I've heard it a lot from other people, yeah.
Just always, it must be just me being from here and everything. I just wanted to get out. So when I signed to come play at Minot after Bismarck State, I was kind of worried about, just how's it going to be. I've lived here my whole life, yada, yada, yada. But, once I got on campus and met the team and everything, like, it was the best decision I ever made, was to come back home. They call it the Magic City for a reason. I've had some magic moments here in the last 4 years. So
yeah, we're certainly happy to have you on board here, and I'm sure they are as well. But, comparing BSC and MSU, how different are the two? I mean, you may have touched on that a little bit earlier, but, what were some changes that you saw, or some more differences that, stand out between when comparing those two?
Yeah, well, there's so many differences on the court, and there's so many differences off the court. I think one of the first things I realized when I got to Mine State was, like, I got to start playing some defense. Like, I could just, I could always get away with it. I was the scorer, but, you get to the bigger and better levels and you can't hide on defense anymore. So, defense was something that was definitely preached and put on me right away. But, there was, like, for me personally, I've always been on a team. I've always had coaches. So, from, like, that aspect, it really wasn't too different. But I would just say, like, the pace of the game at JUCO, you could shoot a transition three at, like, any moment and no one's going to bat an eye. And then you do it here and it's like, you probably could get a better shot. It's just, I think that's probably one of the biggest things on the court, is just how more prepared every team is, and how just the attention to detail at the higher level you go, like, the attention to detail is so much more important. And I'm sure you could say that for any business or profession or any workforce. Or
yeah, it's a jump. It's making that jump. It's going a level above, from a JUCO to a D2, and some scenes are different. Some scenes, players just, it's interesting, like you said, and yeah, it could be, you got to get tougher, or might have to accept a role even, or just kind of a lot of things changing with that. So yeah, good to mention that, certainly. And just going through, talking about the team now and some of the games, what have you been able to take away from your experience here at Minot State? Practices, playing for Coach Merkin, and some team or some players, some guys are from Minot and some are still local ND products. What's it like playing with them overall? And yeah, just talk about the team in general.
I mean, the team in general, that's the most important thing. It's, everyone talks about how, like, obviously winning is important and it's fun to win and it sucks to lose, but I truly believe, like, the best thing about playing in college athletics is the friendships and the brotherhood you make and just the people you meet. When I was at Bismarck State, most of the people were from, like, the Midwest region. We had some outliers from, further away, like Virginia and stuff, but here at Mine State, like, I've had the opportunity to meet people from Sweden to Brazil. Like, I've had so many European teammates, and just like getting to know these people and on the court is one thing, but getting to know them off the court is a whole nother thing. Like seeing that the way that they were brought up and, you know, it just really opens your eyes to how big the world is, especially coming from a kid that's from Minot, North Dakota, you know? So I think the biggest thing that is just the brotherhood, like I said, and from Coach Merkin specifically, you know, I've learned a lot from him on the court, but I've definitely learned more from him off the court. You know, coaches and players aren't always going to see eye to eye, and I think that's a good thing, that you can have that relationship and say, why did you do it this way? Or like you know, just being able to have those open conversations with each other, and we've had definitely more of those off the court. And I think something that is going to stick with me the rest of my life is something we always say is next play. Next play. Like, yeah, you made a bad play, you turned it over, you missed a shot. Next play. Like, what's the next best step you can take? And, you know, that doesn't apply to basketball. You can apply that to anything. And that goes hand in hand with doing good and doing bad. It's just always, what's the next best step I can take? And I think that's the biggest thing I've taken away.
Yeah, you said it there. I mean, being truthfully honest or being open about it, I think, you know, goes a long way, like you said. And, you know, there's a lot of great to look at just on the court, you know, moving off or kind of sort of moving off the court here. But you're one of the seniors. This is kind of the senior. The theme for this show is the senior show. So honoring some of the seniors for sure. And yeah, just kind of talk through senior day, the festivities. You know, when you first heard your name being called and you got the NSIC hat rolling. I like it. Yeah, just talk through that moment of being honored on senior day, last home game.
Oh, it was an emotional day. Let's just say that. I didn't cry at all. I didn't cry as much as my mom did or anything like that. But it was definitely like bringing it all together. Like it was definitely full circle. You know, I'm still kind of processing it right now, if I'm being completely honest with you, Cole. Like, you know, I'm definitely going to miss it, and I'm just excited to see what else is next, you know. And I think the whole senior day, it was great, like just having all the teammates there. And, you know, that's just like the main thing to me. Like, yeah, it's cool, like walking out with my parents and everything because they've supported me my whole life, and I've been incredibly blessed to have the parents that I have. But when I was walking out with my parents, like the whole team was standing there on the sideline, like watching us walk out. And I'm like, well, we break down every huddle with family. Like, this is my family too. So, like, we all made sure we all got a picture with the whole team, not just the parents and everything like that. But, yeah, it was a great day.
No, certainly. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, you know, emotional. Some games are going to be like that. But, yeah, I mean, just all the years being reflected on one moment. And, yeah, it's like you said, you know, it'll take some time to get used to, you know, life after basketball, but yeah, I mean, all the moments, you know, I think it was well worth it, you know. Would you say so?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's weird because, like, in those little moments, you start to remember all, you know, the late nights and early mornings, and not even just for myself, like walking out there with my parents and knowing how much they've done for me too. Like, that's bigger than basketball. So
yeah, and we're gonna move off the court here. You know, you're actually pursuing, from what I hear, a master's degree, most particular in sports management. So yeah, the activities on the court, getting that extra year certainly has to help. But, you know, what was kind of going through your head, you know, before applying for grad school, and, you know, what really enticed you? Obviously, you know, the sports thing has to be, you know, a key factor involved, but, you know, what enticed you to the grad school, you know, even including the maybe the extra COVID year that kind of helped with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, if someone told my freshman year self, like, hey, you're going to go for your master's, I would have laughed right in their face. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, definitely, like you mentioned, how the extra year of COVID, and then so after I got done playing at Bismarck State, I came here and redshirted my first year, just a normal redshirt, and then the year after that was the COVID year, so I gained 2 years. And so I was like, well, I got 2 years of eligibility left. I could do a 2-year master's program. So, you know, I've had great coaches, and, you know, Coach Wallace, he's not here anymore, but I love that guy to death. And
shout out Coach Wallace.
Yeah, shout out Joel Wallace. Shout out Coach Wallace. He's living in Texas right now. And he kind of put that thought in my head, like, well, have you thought about doing it? So I got to give a shout out to him. And now I'm getting a master's in sports management, and I'm also getting one in management. So.
In management as well. Nice. Yep. Yeah, so, with the master's degree in both sports management and management, what are some of the things that you look forward to as you take this next step in life? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to?
Like I kind of said, it's just that next step, next play. If I'm being frank with you, I don't have something written down in my bedroom at home of my plans and what I'm doing. But, I'm kind of just taking it day by day. I'm making the most out of every day I got left here on this campus and, cherishing the people I come in contact with, and for sure working my tail off every day to control what I can control. But, I can't say right now, like, hey, I'm going to go get a job at First Western down the street. I'm not too sure yet. I'm still focused on this last couple weeks of the basketball season, and, I'm still passing my classes with A's and everything like that. So I don't have anything set in stone right now, but, I love basketball so much, so I'd be surprised if I wasn't involved in it some way or another. I've been a basketball trainer for about 6 years now. I started it when I was in high school, and I've got every summer, I'm training local high school and junior high kids, and I'm sure I can teach them a little bit about the ups and downs of what I've been through. And, I just kind of want to be that person I wish I had when I was younger to those young athletes. So
yeah, a lot of experience that you can definitely pass along. And, you said it again. I mean, a great point there that, not everyone's, path is the same. Not everyone's path it's going to be different here and there. And, playing it by ear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But talk about the goals and just off the court. Like we asked the other two guests, what do you hope to accomplish for the rest of your time here at Minot State?
For the rest of my time here at Minot State, it sounds weird even just hearing that out loud. Like it's here,
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to just keep repeating myself, but it's like literally what I just said. Like literally cherishing every day. 'Cause like I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know. If
Love
I'm
that.
Gonna
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow or not. Like after this, I could get hit by a teenager texting and driving or a drunk driver. So, I really take that to heart. Like taking it day by day, and make the most out of this interview, and then after this, making the most out of whatever else I go do. But I'd say, like, if you want some set goals, I want to get at least above a 3.8 GPA while I'm doing this double masters, and I plan to walk at graduation too.
Yeah.
I think
Nice.
that's probably the responsible thing to say, right? I should
plan
to walk at graduation.
Hey, if you want a 4.0, I mean, yeah, if you have the passion for it and you want to have the drive, the effort, yeah, I think that's a pretty good attainable goal there. And but yeah, I think we're all out of time here. But thank you, Drew, for joining us today, and wishing you all the best in the rest of your semester here and the rest of your college career at Minot State, and a couple games remaining. So yeah, good luck, and wishing you all the best.
Heck yeah, I appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much here, and making the most with Drew Pearson, as he's a senior guard from the men's basketball team, also a Minot native and Des Lacs Burlington High School alum. Matt Bosch, hopefully if you watch this soon, you can take some notes there, and as he is also a DLB alum. But that'll do it for the Inside the Dam podcast here, folks. Again, we had a great conversation with Jordan Ivanco, Breianna Smestad, and Drew Pearson. You just heard him as of now. And we just want to remind you guys to check out Papa John's $7.99 large 2-topping pizza. If you show an MSU ID, you can get that sweet deal. We thank Admir for supporting the Inside the Dam podcast. Again, check out Papa John's. We are grateful for their support. That is going to do it for me and for us here, folks. Again, I am Cole Clementich, your host, riding solo. This is all for episode 11 of the Inside the Dam podcast. We'll be back next week for more. Be sure to tune in to that, and also the first episode of MSU Inside Out this Thursday at 5 p.m. Maybe a few changes. We may not be going live with it yet, but 5 p.m. this Thursday. Don't miss it. This has been the Inside the Dam podcast. You guys have a good rest of your night.